Lying just 11 kilometres off the coast of South America, Trinidad and Tobago is the most southerly nation in the Caribbean. Its golden beaches and clear waters are a haven for tourists and locals alike, and life here moves at a relaxed pace. Like the rest of the West Indies, when it comes to sport, cricket is king. Across the islands, there's always a game to be found on the local parks and beaches. Over the years, many of the finest players in world cricket have come from these shores. The most celebrated of those players is former West Indies captain Brian Charles Lara. Lara and many other Trinbagonian legends are honoured at the Queen's Park Oval in the capital port of Spain. It's from here that the Trinidad and Tobago team has forged success in recent years, turning themselves into one of the top teams in the Caribbean. Sooraj Dragunov is a former West Indian batsman and CEO of the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board.
The majority of the success that the Trinidad and Tobago cricket team has enjoyed in the last few years really has been centered around the shorter formats of the game, the 50-over format here in the region and the Caribbean T20 tournaments. In the recently concluded World Cup tournament, we had 8 out of the 15 guys representing the West Indies coming from Trinidad and Tobago. So there are different yardsticks to measure success, not just in terms of winning, but also in terms of producing players on the respective West Indies cricket teams.
When Transworld Sport visited Trinidad, the current crop of players were preparing for the 2013 season at the National Cricket Centre in Couva, about an hour's drive out of the capital. Led by head coach David Williams, the side have won 4 of their last 8 one-day tournaments and 3 of the last 4 Caribbean 2020s. By being T20 champions, Trinidad and Tobago have also represented the region at the Champions League. Dinesh Ramdin is the team's captain.
Yeah, it's a fantastic experience for the younger players, knowing that you go there and you play in front of a huge crowd, probably 50,000-60,000 people, and that's a life-changing experience. Being to play under a lot of pressure, how you handle that pressure, and as well as winning games under pressure.
At the inaugural Champions League in 2009, despite being underdogs, Trinidad and Tobago finished as the tournament's runners-up. But for all their success in one-day and T20 games, the nation is falling behind their rivals in the longer format. Jamaica have won the previous 5 editions of the regional 4-day competition, compared with the Trinbagonians' 2 triumphs in 36 years. It's something that Ramdin and Williams are looking to put right in 2013.
Everyone knows the amount of money that has been paid for over T20 cricket. A lot more emphasis has been paid on the T20, but at the same time we would like to win the 4-day tournament, which has eluded us for the past 3-4 years. And it's a very important tournament for us. 2013 is a year that we would like to go there and play consistent cricket. And I believe that Trinidad and Tobago have the quality, the ability, and the type of players, dynamic players, to go there and play all formats of the game and win.
It's a tough ask sometimes because one-day cricket is what the guys want at the moment because it's got a future in it, and wouldn't go so far to say that Test cricket is dying or 4-day cricket is dying, but the emphasis nowadays is more on T20 cricket because there's a bigger financial reward. But we're trying to get guys to understand that 4-day cricket and Test match cricket is just as important.
However, many key players, including Ramdin, Kieron Pollard, Sunil Narayan and Dwayne Bravo, will be called up to represent the West Indies this year. Series against Zimbabwe and Australia, as well as the ICC Champions Trophy, will rob Trinidad and Tobago of their best players at crucial times during the season.
We probably have 7 or 8 players that will go off to play the Champions Trophy. But having said that, we still have a number of senior players who could fill that gap, and I believe they can do it. Still have former captain Dime Ganga, who's around with a lot of experience, and he will marshal the troops. He will be there to guide and give his experience, help the younger players come through.
Players for Trinidad and Tobago are picked from the national domestic leagues. The Queen's Park Club in blue are the most successful side, and most of the top Trinidad players started their careers here. They've won all 3 domestic competitions for the last 2 years, but the financial resources and facilities at the Queen's Park Oval are above and beyond what's available to most clubs. Queen's Park manager Geoffrey Gillen believes that the national team's achievements belie the state of cricket at club level.
I think that the standards of cricket is actually going down throughout the West Indies, because the infrastructure is still so poor, and we're still very far behind as compared to the rest of the world. You look years ago when West Indies were strong, the other countries like England and Australia were building the infrastructure and putting systems in place, and we took a long time to move in that direction. And domestic cricket, we have 12 teams in our Premier League, which is far too much, and therefore the cricket is quite diluted. We need to get back to a different structure. I don't think we have 150 first-class cricketers in the country, so we need to get back to probably 6 teams and playing 2 rounds, and that will improve the standard of cricket.
With a view to improving Caribbean cricket, next year we'll see the introduction of an IPL-style 2020 Premier League, replacing the current format. However, it will mean that teams such as Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica or Guyana will be replaced by city-based franchises, prompting fears of a loss of national identity.
We would love to know that a franchise team operating out of Trinidad and Tobago will carry the name Trinidad and Tobago, if it's Trinidad and Tobago Tigers or whatever. So that, branding Trinidad and Tobago for us is very important. The players, however, would be exposed. They're going to have a lot more opportunities to play. The culture of West Indies cricket is going to change, because here it is now, for the first time, we would be able to bring in foreign players into our domestic league, and that in itself would have different impacts. I hope that they will be mostly positive, where you have professionals coming out of the different international countries coming to Trinidad to ply their trade, and I hope that they would be able to rub off positively on our youngsters, and not just here in Trinidad but across the Caribbean, and help improve the level of professionalism as far as playing is concerned and preparation for cricket.
But this is a team that played together for a number of years. So we understand and we know each other very, very well. And we are very close-knit. So we play for each other, and that is one of our strengths. And the guys, of course, work extremely hard to reach where they're at the moment. Because, nothing happens overnight. It's a process. And for them to buy into the process and reach where they have reached is really a tremendous achievement to both the players and the board.